Got 100 hours to kill? Let's take a look at the best games worth all your time in 2022. Truthfully, if you boil it down, you can play any game for more than 100 hours. You can finish everything, do all the side missions, wander around the world taking nice pictures in photo mode, and then do it all again in New Game Plus. But when we talk about games you can play for more than 100 hours, we're talking about the games that keep giving you something other than the warm and fuzzies. The games that the longer you play them, the more you unlock, the more you discover, and the more you realize you might not need to play anything else ever again. Well, no, not really, because we'd like you to try all 7. So subscribe to Logitech G for more videos that are much shorter than 100 hours, and let's take a look at some of the best games you can play for a really long time in 2022. Oh, and if you want the 2021 edition, pop the link on screen now in another tab to play later. Some loops are dangerously compelling, aren't they? If you're the person who is constantly distracted from the main mission of an open-world sandbox to go off and hunt furry creatures for their crafting resources, then you'll love Monster Hunter Rise. This was originally a Nintendo Switch exclusive before coming to PC earlier this year, and we are very glad it arrived to scratch our itch for endlessly improving our armor and weaponry with fresh dead bits. Well, dead bits that you can access to after enormous battles. Even if you're new to the world of Monster Hunter, you'll quickly catch on to the idea that this is just a world of the best ever gameplay loop. The better items you craft, the better combat gets, and the whole loop starts all over again. Be warned, it's not the easiest, but this means it feels all the more satisfying to succeed. It's official, The Binding of Isaac is never over. There are never going to be enough tears to annihilate all of the creatures of hell that lie in wait in the basement, and far, far beyond. The Binding of Isaac Repentance is the latest addition to poor Isaac's nightmare. Don't be fooled, just because it's technically a DLC doesn't mean that Repentance isn't the size of a full-blown sequel with hundreds of new features. In fact, Edmund McMillan has confirmed that the update alone has added more than 500 hours of new gameplay, with 700 new items, 100 new types of terrifying enemies, and more than 5,000 new room designs that you can play with up to 3 friends. Given that all of these new items and powers will stack with the old ones, The Binding of Isaac is now dangerously powerful. Be warned though, you might never come back. Let's face facts, pirates don't retire. Pirates just become older, saltier sea dogs. 100 hours then is nothing in Sea of Thieves. There are always new adventures to hunt down, always something more to do, more X's marking the spot, more skeletons to fight in hand-to-hand combat, or just endless friends to drink loads of grog and then be really sick with. Rare's persistent world of buccaneers and buried treasure has gone from Navy strength to strength since its original release 5 years ago. And pets and fancy hooks are only the tip of the swashbuckling iceberg, although the pets are especially cute. There are now narrative-driven campaigns starring Jack Sparrow himself in an official Pirates of the Caribbean collaboration, multiple factions to join, and monthly updates that keep things feeling fresh. Board these ships and you'll be hooked for life. Literally. If we're honest, we've probably spent more than 100 hours alone on just one of The Sims 4 many expansion packs by this point. The Sims 4 is now too big even to think about sequels. With 3 distinct types of add-on bundle, expansion packs, game packs, and stuff packs, the possibilities for our beloved Simlish speakers are now endless. They can become famous, sending their fans swooning to the ground in a dead faint, learn to garden, escape their own world and play in VR, and have all kinds of unique pets. Do you fancy a vampiric trip to a gothic town of bloodsuckers? Or maybe a permanent holiday for relaxed swimming lessons with fellow mer people and dolphins? Or do we mention the adorable llamas and farming of cottage living? It's probably going to take 100 hours just to get this house right. You go on to the next game.
Sibuna Torble Farbe.
Hey, Finn.
Fine, but at least we're in the welcoming embrace of Valheim. If Assassin's Creed Valhalla whet your appetite for a Viking lifestyle, but didn't let you dive quite as deep as you wanted, Valheim is here for you. In this survival game, you can create and build your own Norse destiny, whether alone or with friends. Like The Sims, every hour you spend here means something. There are no wasted, bad roguelike runs. Everything you build and earn brings you closer to your goal. And that goal can be different too. Do you want to farm, take to the sea, build the ultimate longhouse to rest and drink mead all day? The choice is entirely up to you, and the game is still in early access. This means the community is strong, so you'll get plenty of helpful advice, and also that Valheim itself is growing all the time too. 100 hours might quickly feel like Viking pocket change. What better way to prepare for the return of Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum in this year's Dino blockbuster than once again attempting to keep long extinct monsters in cages? Jurassic World Evolution 2 delivers even more of the scaly chaos of the first game, now with added flying dinosaurs and aviaries, and underwater creatures too. At least you don't need to worry about the latter escaping, but there's plenty of other carnivorous terrors ready to turn your guests into rolling sushi counters, so don't relax just yet. Once again, we need to craft new and exciting dinosaurs with DNA splicing, and this time we even need to properly manage the scientists working technical miracles who really don't like doing it on very little sleep. With a Chaos Theory mode too, where we can try and keep control of the scenarios from the previous movies, there's hours of carefully controlled chaos here. Just remember that life always finds a way. And finally, it's time for the gods to control your time for a bit. Hades' brand of roguelite is the perfect way to while away the hours. While your purpose as Zagreus is to escape the layers of the Greek underworld, to do this too fast would mean missing out on the many layered joys at work here. Every death in Hades means something, even if that something is to learn how not to try and attack one specific kind of enemy. The choice of weaponry and the sheer individuality of each run thanks to the powers of the gods means every journey feels unique. There's also the fact that you can decide against making every trip into Asphodel into an escape attempt and instead focus on collecting darkness to pay for more powers at the Mirror of the Night, or finding chthonic keys to unlock more weapons. The longer you spend in Hades, the better it gets.
I'm home.
So that's some of the best games that will enrich your life for more than 100 hours. Let us know your favorite time murderers in the comments below. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this one. If you do already subscribe, take a millisecond to tap the notification bell to know exactly when our next video lands. Every second counts, you know?